Well, they listen to you, don't they?
For a little while.
I was going to say that you're actually my first interview. I've never interviewed anybody.
Okay.
But I some of these questions I think I already kind of know. But for the people that have never met, this is Joe Mendel. And how long have you been building guitars?
Well, I started my first guitar in about 2000 and finished it about 2006.
Okay.
But in 2006, I started building octave mandolins.
I know how that is. My first guitar took a little while because you don't want to just jump in and just mess it up.
Yeah.
You want to learn, right?
And I've been repairing since the mid 80s.
Yeah, so that gave you a lot of...
Yeah, I learned a lot repairing.
Yeah, learning how to set up things and all that.
Yeah, fretwork and nuts and saddles and...
Yeah. So how many guitars and all that have you built, like mandolins? And...
I've built around, I'm going to guess a little bit, around 50 octave mandolins and around 50 open back banjos and probably 150 of wood top banjos that I haven't really kept track of how many of those I built, but it's been 10 years and I've been building 10 or 12 of them every year. And then I've got up into the 20s on guitars now.
That's awesome. So you actually were, what did you do for a living? Because you were an auto worker.
I worked for General Motors for 30 years.
And I worked for Chrysler.
Yeah.
So we have a lot in common, actually. I almost said, well, we're both older.
Well, that wouldn't be wrong.
But a lot of the people who subscribe to my channel are older. That's according to the stats anyway. So, hey, they want to hear what we got to say. And you know what? And I wouldn't even plan on going there on this, but for you, it was a retirement type thing, wasn't it?
Well, probably around 1980, went to Colorado, went to Cripple Creek, and I bought a couple of mountain dulcimer kits, and I built them. And then I found out about Stuart McDonald, and they had mandolin kits, and I built two truly hideous mandolins.
Somebody liked them.
Well, I've still got one, and it's hidden away, never to see the light of day again. I probably should burn it. And then after that, I started tweaking on my own instruments, and then friends started asking me to tweak on theirs.
Right.
And then in 1993, I got laid off from General Motors.
Right. Went
to Luthier School at South Plains College in Levelland, Texas, and unfortunately, they don't have that program anymore.
Okay. Yeah, and that was how many months?
2 semesters.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that taught you a lot, didn't it?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, I had a couple of really good teachers.
Yeah, I'm going to the hard knocks. That's what I'm going right now. Actually, you've taught me a lot so far, but I've got a lot to learn. But so you're mainly doing guitars right now, right?
Yeah, seems to be a bigger pond to fish in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like and so this interview, I don't know if anybody watched the videos. We just finished a guitar for a good friend of ours, Bob. And it turned out really good.
It really did turn out really well.
Yeah. So we went through it, oh my gosh, how many months was it? About 4 months?
Probably 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Now you could have gone quicker because you were waiting for me to
film
it.
They
could have gone a
come
lot
over,
quicker. How long would it take you to build if you weren't waiting for someone?
If I was just doing one guitar at a time, I could probably do the woodworking in a couple of weeks, and then it's going to take another month to do the finish and let it cure and sand and buff it out and set it up.
So if you were a guy watching this channel thinking, man, I might want to do that as a retirement type thing, what would you encourage them to start? How to get into that?
I would start simple. And there's a lot of mountain dulcimer kits out there that are simple, and you don't need thousands of dollars worth of clamps and stuff to build them. And there are guitar kits out there too, but the tools is where you're gonna run into spending your money. And I would say go for it. Don't be afraid of for me for years bending wood was like holy hell, you can bend wood, and it's really not that hard. And if you're not using expensive wood to start with, if you break a piece, so what? You try it again.
So don't go for the most expensive at first.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the middle on that one because I'm like, I don't want to go for so cheap if I'm going to put all this effort into it, but I don't want to spend $300 on just the sides you know, $400 on the sides.
Yeah,
But,
and I mean, straight grain wood can be beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and
No doubt.
it's relatively inexpensive.
Yeah. So the guy that doesn't have any tools, I would say doesn't have any, because most guys have tools. But what are some of the things you just have to have for this?
A bandsaw.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And I love my 6x48 belt sander.
Mm.
Those my 14-inch bandsaw, excuse me, my 12-inch bandsaw and a 6x48 belt sander are probably the most used tools. A thickness sander, drum sander is really, really nice. I've never done one without it, so I don't. You know, I've seen people thin wood with planes and stuff. Seems like an awful lot of work.
Yeah. So I'm in that group right now. That's one thing. I mean, I can build electric guitars without it, but the sides, you really need that, don't you?
Yeah.
So I'm in the same boat. I'm gonna have to get something like that. And I told you, a lot of the subscribers watch because I do CNC, and I think I might be able to get away with it, but we'll see.
You might be able to if you can secure it everywhere, so it's not the bit's not pulling the wood up into the bit. You know?
I do have it lined up very nicely, straight up and down. I've calibrated that really nice, so we'll see how that goes. You know, so well, I just want to make a quick little talk with you after we did that video.
Okay,
I appreciate all your time for this last 4
Oh, you're
months.
welcome, man. Anytime.
Great guy, man. I appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Aside, it sounds really good.
Does it? I'll have to
it
go
does.
back and listen again. Oh, no. Yeah. I remember like the last one we did with your finishing one, they got like 500 views, which is more than normal on those.
Oh, wow.
Because it was a little out of my niche. You know, people were used to seeing electric guitars on there and not in building acoustics, but, you know. It's a beautiful guitar, though. Glad we did this.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad you got it on, you know, pretty much the process of it on there.
Yeah, who gets a guitar made for themselves and sees it on video?
I know, now it's recorded.
Now, I did build one for Caden.
Yeah.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, Caden Berry.
Yeah. So I built it all the way through and then gave him the guitar. You know,
Wow.
he just had to pay for the materials, but I thought
Nice.
I'm going to build this thing, and it just blessed him really good.
That's awesome.
But he's got one that's made for him. You know?
Nice.
On video.
Listen to that.
It rings. So what do you think about the whole thought of the more you play a guitar, the better it sounds?
Oh,
Do
absolutely.
you believe
Oh,
that?
absolutely. This is the worst it'll ever sound.
So why is that?
No,
What's your
it sounded
thoughts
a
on
lot worse when I first strung it up.
No,
They always do.
oh, they sound terrible when you first string it because they're not used to vibrating, like they're not used to making the sound. The cells and the wood and everything start vibrating
I can see
together, and
that.
they start settling together. And then a year from now, this thing will sound.
Because it's used to going in that direction.
It'll
vibrating in that
I
direction.
don't really know the dynamics of it, but all
I don't
the
know
wood
if
gets
anybody
used to
can
it.
really explain it. I've heard, you know, the vibrations cause a rise in temperature, which hardens the,
No.
you know,
They
which,
think they know.
you know, but yeah. But they do sound better when they're played.